Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about quite a few subjects. As you can see, the first subject, Germany is prepared to back immediate EU embargo on Russian oil. So a lot of you may or may not know there is a meeting going on with the EU members, and they're discussing whether to ban Russian oil or not. Germany have already said they would back any such ban. However, the EU seems to be split. There are a few countries who are completely against this idea, namely Hungary and Slovakia, I believe. And however, there is another article here, and it says EU consider exemptions as Hungary threatens to veto Russian oil ban. And Hungary is the main problem country for the EU at the moment. And he says, as Hungary threatens to veto European Union-wide ban on Russian energy products, the bloc is now considering exceptions for Hungary and Slovakia, or a no longer time frame for the two countries to reduce their heavy reliance on Russia. So, looks like the EU is doing everything they can to ban Russian oil. This is going to be a huge problem, not just for Europe, but for the world. I mean, these guys are not even thinking clearly. You have people like Ursula, who is completely obsessed about placing sanctions on Russia, and she doesn't know what the impact of this is going to be. I mean, this is not going to work at all. So this is what's going to happen. If this ever goes ahead, oil prices are going to rise, right? So if oil prices are going to rise, Russia will make a bigger profit by selling less oil, and they don't need to sell it to Europe anymore. They can go east to China, to India. There's plenty of countries around the world that would be happy to buy Russian oil. I mean, it's not like oil is plentiful at the moment. Oil is really scarce at the moment, and look at the oil prices. They're literally gone through the roof. And they only go through the roof if demand is higher than supply. So if demand is higher than supply, why ban Russian oil? It's just going to make the prices go up even more. And this means the Europeans will have to pay more for oil, find new suppliers to give them oil. And it's ridiculous. And it's just going to increase the price of oil. And Russia's going to make a bigger profit by selling less oil. Absolutely ridiculous. They haven't thought of this through at all, and I just don't know what the hell these guys are doing. Really is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to go through a few other stories as well, namely this one. This guy in the British Parliament has been caught watching porn. I have to say, what the hell is going on with the British government? These guys, do they do any work in the government or the Parliament? I mean, most of them are there looking at porn, and I'm not even joking, but this article came up as well a few months ago. Traces of cocaine found in the UK Parliament, including near Boris Johnson's office. So what do these guys actually do? What do our leaders actually do with their time? They're not doing any good. I mean, look at the economy. It's an absolute shambles. These guys are busy looking at porn, doing cocaine, doing all what have you not, and you got Nick Hancock having an affair. You got Rishi Sunak, who's supporting his dodgy wife and showing her how to skip taxes, while the rest of us are getting squeezed for every single penny that we got. You got dodgy Priti Patel. Everybody is bloody dodgy in the government. Every single Tory backbencher, every single Tory. What the hell is going on? Is this what British people want, for these people to run their country for them? I mean, seriously, this guy couldn't even wait till he gets home to look at porn. Why is he looking at porn at a time of work? Is this guy an idiot or what? Yeah, fine, if you got needs, if you got urges, go home and do that stuff privately. Why do it at your workplace? Oh my god, this makes no sense whatsoever. These guys, what did they actually do in the Parliament? Nothing. Wasting taxpayers' money, that's what they're doing. Crazy. Anyway, I want to talk about the next story now. Ukraine admits the ghost of Kiev fighter pilot held for shooting down 40 Russian planes is a myth after 29-year-old mayor who was shot down last month was wrongly identified. So apparently Ukraine is now admitting that the ghost of Kiev was a myth. I mean, anybody with a brain would have known he's a myth. Come on. This guy shot 40 Russian planes by himself. What is he? Top Gun or something? I mean, whoever's been posting these stories and whoever's been believing these stories, it must be really thick. I'm sorry to say, it must be really, really thick. There must be something really lacking in that brain. Because it's like saying the ghost of Iraq. You know, when the Iraq war was going on, it's like putting up an article saying there's a ghost of Iraq and this guy has shot down 40 F-35 jets. Is anyone going to believe him? People are going to laugh in their face. So why aren't people laughing about this? Because it's Russia. I mean, I must say, I have looked at Twitter and there was a lot of people who are pushing this story. A lot. You know, we're talking about hundreds and thousands of people. And it just shows the intelligence of these people. It just shows how stupid and brainwashed most people are in this world. People don't have a brain. They're just sheep. They have no capacity to think for themselves. Anybody with a brain or ounce of a brain would have thought about it, saying, hang on a second. How did this ghost of Kiev guy shoot down 40 Russian airplanes when Russia controls the airspace? And Russia has shot down every single airport, destroyed every runway. How are these flights still flying around? And 40, not even one Russian plane, not even two Russian planes, 40. He really must think he's in a computer game or something. Okay, moving on. So I found this interesting article on the Financial Times, and basically what this is saying is that EU takes bulk of 63 billion in Russian fossil fuel exports during the Ukraine war. So the Ukraine war has been going on since February, and it's only been a few months, and Russia has already made 63 billion, which is a lot. You know, in a few months, 63 billion, that's a huge amount. Then you've got countries like Ukraine, which is making no money at all. And as you know, Ukraine's economy is completely collapsed. And US and as well as Europe is pouring money into Ukraine to help keep it afloat and also to give it lots of weapons as well. But this is very interesting. It shows each country and how much oil and gas and coal it buys from Russia. So let's start with Germany, shall we, and Italy. And you can see Germany buys a huge amount of gas from Russia, and so does Italy. It's a huge amount, and a huge amount of oil as well. And you can see China is third. And look at how much China buys gas compared to Germany and Italy. It's a very small percentage compared to how much Germany buys and Italy buys. Obviously, this will change over the next few years. There are 3 pipelines going into China at the moment via Russia. And once these pipelines come into effect, I'm pretty sure that this red line in China will grow and China will become the #1 buyer of Russian goods. So China will be definitely up there over the next few years. And also, if you look at countries like Germany and Italy, it just shows how much they need Russia, and you know how they will struggle if they do not buy from Russia anymore. Where else they're gonna get this from? It's not like the world is full of gas and oil. There are already contracts signed by countries in the Middle East, and every oil producing country has signed contracts. They can't break those contracts. They're going to have to keep supplying oil to these countries. OPEC is not going to increase production. And then you have countries like Venezuela and Iran, which is under sanctions. So there's huge problems out there. You would think that you need to sort out the sanctions on Iran first before you start cancelling Russian contracts. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So one country that's not in this list, which I checked, is India. And as you know, they're giving a lot of pressure on India. Why are they buying Russian oil, stuff like that. But India is not even on the list because it's such a minute amount that India buys. And you got countries like Poland in here and Bulgaria in here. And as you know, Poland and Bulgaria, their gas has been cut. So even though Poland buys a small percentage of it, and Bulgaria actually buys more gas than Poland. So I would say that Bulgaria is in actually bigger trouble than Poland. However, if you look at all of the blue parts, there's a lot of European countries, and Poland buys a significant amount of oil from Russia. So where else is Poland going to get it from? Are they going to get it from America or Middle East? Because they haven't got any new contracts set up. They have a lot of new pipelines for Poland, which are... There's a Baltic pipeline coming in. There's a pipeline coming in from Lithuania, from Norway. So Poland might have other options when it comes to gas. But when it comes to oil, there's no other options. None whatsoever. And if you look at how much Poland buys compared to Germany and Italy, it's very, very close. It's very close to how much South Korea buys. Very close to how much Turkey buys. So I don't know what Poland's going to be doing, to be honest. So I just found this graph really, really interesting. So anyway, let's move on. So Pelosi holds talks on Ukraine with Polish president following the meeting with Zelensky in Kiev. I just find all of this a bit strange and too much of a coincidence. You had Blinken and Lloyd Austin going into Poland only a few days ago. Now you have Pelosi going in. And there's stories about Poland could be sending in troops to the west of Ukraine. And I don't know if many of you realize or knew this story, that after the German-Soviet invasion of Poland in 1939, Lviv became part of the Soviet Union. And Lviv is actually a part of Ukraine. So Poland is... basically laying claims to Lviv and also the parts of Western Ukraine as well. So what they're saying is, basically they want to send some peacekeepers to Western Ukraine. I just think it's a really, really bad idea, to be honest. Very, very bad idea. You can see from this map, there's a part of Russia called Kaliningrad here. And if Poland is really, really... I'm sorry to say, really stupid enough to go into Western Ukraine, then they are asking for it. All Russia needs is a land bridge between Kaliningrad and Belarus, and that means Kaliningrad is very, very isolated at the moment. So if Poland goes into Ukraine, obviously that's not going to work very well for Poland, because they don't have the military might to take over Russia's military, and there is no way NATO would support this move. I'm telling you this now, no way Americans or NATO would do this move, because this is classed as aggression, and they're basically gone in without NATO approval or American approval. They're basically gone in out of themselves, and they're doing it for a land grab, and they're doing it for their own benefit. I don't think NATO would approve it, and I just don't think the Americans would approve it. And if this ever happens, I'm pretty sure that Russia would take this part of land here and form a land bridge between Belarus and Kaliningrad. And they will obviously push back the Polish force as well, who are in Western Ukraine. And Poland is just going to end up losing more land, to be honest. And I just think it's going to be a very, very bad idea. And they are not doing this with any NATO approval. They are not doing it with any American approval. There is no way NATO would allow Poland to drag it to a nuclear war. There is no way. It's not going to happen. And what Poland is thinking about doing or is about to do, I just want to give them one advice. Just don't even think about it. So there is a lot of intelligence going on that Poland might do this move. I just think it's going to be very, very stupid on their part if they do. And if that happens, then Poland will lose a lot. Not only they will lose a lot of men, they will lose a lot of their army, they will lose some land, and they would lose a lot of prestige, because they're going to be asking for US help and NATO's help, and NATO's going to be like, nah, you went in by yourself, don't expect us to help you. You know, you did this out, you know, without NATO approval, without American approval, so you knew what the risks were, so don't expect us to help you. So I just think it's going to be a very, very bad idea if that happens. So anyway, that's all for today for now. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.